Yo guys, welcome back to another update on 92E and in today's update, 92E is expected to form into blasts and it's looking kind of decent on satellite imagery, I'm not gonna lie. There's another system out there that could potentially try and form into Celia here. Now there's an invest here in the Atlantic, but we don't know which one will which area of interest will form. Whether it's going to be the Atlantic one or the East Pac one. I'm betting on the West Pac on the East Pac one because the East Pac one is at 20%. The Atlantic one is also at 20%. As it says here, Southwestern Caribbean Sea. An area of low pressure is located to develop by a middle part of this week over the southern Western Caribbean Sea. Some slow development of this system is possible while it drifts generally northwestward off the coast of Nicaragua, Nicaragua and Honduras. Formation chance for the next 2 days is near 0, and formation chance for the next for the next 5 days is 20%. Now, as you guys been seeing with the moderns, this system has been going all over the place. It wants it to go over Florida again and do an Alex, but much stronger. It wants it to go over Nicaragua, and over Belize, and then Veracruz, and it also wants it to hit Texas or Louisiana or Alabama, or it wants it to hit Florida and then move up the East Coast. And then it wants another system to form up here off a low and then do that basically. Which we could have some tropical development up here by next week. It also wants 2 more tropical waves down here, one over here, one here. But they're not going to do anything because they're not going to form. But our main system right now is this system. Off the coast of southwestern Mexico, showers and thunderstorms have increased since yesterday associated with a broad low pressure area located a few hundred miles associated with a broad low pressure area located a few hundred miles south of the southwest coast of Mexico. Environmental conditions are favorable to become more conducive for further development. A tropical depression is likely to form on Tuesday or Wednesday, while the system moves slowly northwestwards of the southwestern coast of Mexico. Formation chance in the next 2 days is 50% chance, and for the chance for the next 5 days is a 90% chance. So the GFS also is hinting of this is becoming a hurricane, a category 2. I don't think it's going to be possible. I don't even think this is going to become a category 2. I think it's going to become a category 1 because I just get over here. The waters aren't really as conducive. The ocean heat content is not there like it is in the Caribbean and the Atlantic. It's just not favorable, the ocean heat content. So if the storm decides to rapidly intensify to a category 3 or 4, it won't have long because the ocean heat content over here is weaker than it is in the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico and near the Bahamas. And you can stay in a major hurricane right now, but the environmental conditions are not conducive for the Atlantic yet for a major hurricane. You can get a major hurricane towards the end of July, early August to October time-ish. I'll show you tropical tidbits 1 second. This is my first time me doing that through my phone. If you guys want to, Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm going to show you the model ones. Now, with the model ones, they have been all over the place recently. Some of the model ones want no storm forming, and as you can see, that it wants a category 3 out of this. It wants a category 3. Luckily, it doesn't impact land as a category 3, which is good. But it's going to impact land as a category 2, which is pretty, still pretty strong for today. And it's going to impact here as a hurricane near Veracruz, somewhere where Grace made landfall last year. And it's going to move. And then you got another system forming a week after that. Yet again near Cuba. And then going towards the north. Then you go into Louisiana. I don't know where this system forms from. It forms from over here. So yet again, it comes from the East Pac. Forms over here, and then, boom, it's a system. Forms over here, boom, yeah, again. So we could see 3 tropical cyclones. They're not really hinting on that one becoming a subtropical anymore. One near Bermuda, but it could have a shot. But then you got one. So yeah, we could basically see another 2 storms, maybe another 3, if we're lucky. That will get us up to the D-name storm, which could possibly be the earliest D-name storm. If we have the D-name storm in June, because we had the D-name storm in July last year. No, not in July. In June last year. So we could have it this year, hopefully. But let's not hope that this happens, because on the model ones, this looks kind of scary. And I'm not gonna lie, the GFS has been hinting at this for a week now, maybe 2 weeks, maybe more. They've been hinting of it, something pretty strong. See how fast it rapidly intensifies. When it forms on about the 14th, 15th, it gets itself going and boom, really rapidly intensifies over the really warm waters of the Gulf of the Caribbean. Because the Caribbean this time of year can support some really strong storms. You've seen it in the past. So you could see 969, which is a major hurricane. You can see it's a major hurricane. Luckily, it does not make landfall as this. If it was going to make landfall, now it's uncertainty where it's going to go, because the GFS wanted to do that. But I don't think it's going to do that. I think it's probably going to, best likely tracker scenario is to stay south. If it stays south, it won't get anywhere near this dry air. If it moves north, it's going to get sheared. If it moves northwest, it's going to get sheared. If it moves a little bit into the Caribbean, into a little bit of the Gulf, maybe towards South Texas, maybe it could have a shot. But anywhere near Cuba, if it does that over Florida, it's going to get sheared. Also, there's a lot of dry air here. So the Saharan air layer, which is also coming off the Atlantic. I'll try and show you a picture of that. But the Saharan air layer is all over here right now. So it does have a shot, basically, of trying to become a system, because the basically the dry air is all here. So the Caribbean, so south of the Caribbean over here is favourable. But the only part that is not particularly favourable is this bit here and the MDR. This bit here, but south of Bermuda and north of Bermuda, where the subtropics are, that's also average. Well, not average as like SSTs, obviously, because I'll show you the SSTs. La Nina is weakening a little bit, which is what we like to see. It's good that La Nina is weakening a little bit more, but yesterday, literally, it was literally like this. So, it was on an upward trend. I thought, okay, maybe it's gonna start shooting down after, but no. Last night, I was keeping an eye on this, and then it literally moved back into end zone neutral, which it could have it could dip back into a La Nina again. Maybe by the end of this month, because honestly, the trade winds right now are pretty weak. Well, this is why it's not really strengthening as much. When the trade winds get going over here, you would know about it. This bit will start going like this, like it did in 2015. Because 2015 it was like this, off the charts. Because we had an El Nino in 2014, 2015. 2014 it was like this. So 2013 it was like this. I said 2013 was an El Nino season because we all thought it was going to be active, but no, it was basically a La Nina season. Basically stayed as a very weak La Nina. And came along 2014, which basically got us up to about here. About the 1 plus 2, 1 plus 5 region. And then 2015 came along and then pushed us up towards the nearly Super Nino, but luckily we didn't get to a Super Nino. Got to about 2.5, 3 is about a Super Nino. We were expected to have some people were saying that we were meant to be having a Super La Nina this year, which that's clearly not going to happen. Looking at the La Nina right now, if it was going to happen, this would have to rapidly decrease back down, and that's not what it's doing. It's steadily going back up. We're not going to go into El Nino territory. We might go into cool neutral stay at weak La Nina. But other than that, no. I will literally show you satellite imagery now of Invest 92E, which is looking pretty good. If I have to say so myself. It's looking pretty decent. Don't know where the central circulation is. I think the circulation is here. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the LLC right there, low level central circulation. As you can see, it's got really good convection blowing up, and it's actually surrounded by minus 80 to 85 to 90 degree cloud tops. So, it's looking kind of decent over here. It's looking kind of decent because this is basically where about a couple hours ago, this is where the center was. Well, I think the center was somewhere down here. But I know it was somewhere here, the center. And now, if we go back over here, center should be somewhere in this area here. Now, it's a big part of where the center goes. Because in some storms, when it's moving out to sea like that, when I have a center relocation, that could move north. So any jog in the cone, like Agatha was supposed to make landfall. Not supposed to make landfall where it potentially made landfall, but that's everything I showed you. No, that's not everything I showed you. La Nina, as you can see, near the eastern tropical stuff, it's starting to weaken right now, but Pacific is basically, even though if this La Nina does weaken, Pacific's not going to warm up, Pacific's going to be dead, Pacific won't have any we'll have some activity, but not very strong. Western Pacific kind of running above average, but also running slightly below average to about average in the South China Sea. Right, south of the South China Sea is warm near Myanmar, Indonesia, and Vietnam. But near Hainan and off the coast of Hong Kong, over in this area, it's not really that looking good. About below average to about average degree, so it's alright. Over in this part of the basin, obviously it's going to be below average this time of year. Australian basin, obviously going to be below average this time of the year, but you do have some warm water north of WA, Western Australia, and in EA, I think, Eastern Australia. But other than that, that's everything that we've gone through, I think. Apart from the water temperatures in the Atlantic, which is running about average. All of the where I'm marking right now is a 26 degree isotherm is, and above. This is where the 26 degree isotherm is and above. So basically, it's basically pretty much all of it, basically. Because Alex became a tropical storm here in 26 degree waters. And, was actually intensifying in 25, 26 degree waters. And then, when it got to 70 miles an hour, it was intensifying in 24 degree waters. So, which is kind of weird. So, yeah, anyway, hope you guys enjoy this video. This is just an update on potential Agatha and a potential of seeing Bonnie in the Atlantic and maybe Colin. So, hope you guys also enjoyed this video. Don't forget to slap a like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And my prayers go out to everyone who watches this video. I'd just like to give a shout out to Weatherman Plus and also Joy Tracking. Joy Tracking does content like hurricane animations and stuff, like hypotheticals and stuff. And Weatherman Plus, he does really good coverage on tropical cyclones, like for instance Agatha, and this potential tropical cyclone in the East Pac, and maybe in the Atlantic if we do see Bonnie. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy this video. God bless you all, and I should see you in tomorrow's or sometime when the storm forms. So see you all tomorrow or the next day. See ya and goodbye from me.